We are here. We are back. We're doing our build in Nomad Sculpt. We got some music going in the background. We're just gonna be finishing this robot. This is 0012, my 000 robot series, and we're gonna have to make some modifications. On the last video, I was half asleep making a waist for him, and I don't like it because I didn't actually design the waist when I was doing the drawing process. So in my head, I don't really know what it looks like because I didn't actually draw it. So we're gonna take a step back. We're gonna delete all this because it's making me so sad. So we're gonna delete all this, and then we're gonna go into Procreate and just draw a little bit. I mean, we can honestly just stay right here and do this, but that's not how my process is. So we're gonna go into Procreate, not Procreate Dreams, that's the animation one. We're gonna go into Procreate, and we are going to go to a fresh page that I had made here, and we need the legs. So we're gonna go into this stack here and then go to the leg drawing. And we're pretty much just gonna copy this page. Let's see, turn off the reference, turn off that. Yeah, we're pretty much just gonna yeah, that's all we need, honestly. Turn off the background layer. And we're gonna take the leg, because I need it for just a visual representation. So we're gonna share it as a PNG file and just save it. And go back to our gallery. We can get out of this stack and then go to this fresh page. And we hit the wrench and we're gonna go to add, and we're gonna insert a photo. It should be the leg right there, bang. Imported that. All right, awesome. So now, I don't really need this side view of it, so we're gonna get rid of that. There's a couple ways we can remove it. Just hit the eraser, make it nice and big, and bye-bye. Because honestly, all I need is that one, like, drawing, that one part of the drawing. And then we can move it over here. So now we have to make another layer, because what we want to do is make the waist. So as you can see, we have our canvas here, we have our leg on the first layer. I'm gonna bring it down some. Honestly, I can just clone this and then put like a space in between. So let's do that real quick. So now that we have it highlighted, we're just gonna go to layer 1, hit duplicate, and then hit the mouse button, and then flip horizontally and then move it over. So we have like a spatial representation of what we need. So now we have 2 layers of the legs, and we're gonna go on that layer above, and we're gonna name it waist. IST. All right, so now we're gonna build our waist. We're gonna make this black. We're gonna go to our technical pin 1. I like to lower down the line. It doesn't need to be that big. It's good enough. All right, so now we have to figure out what is going to go in between his legs, which is hilarious to think about. From the front view, I was thinking like here, because again, we're gonna cover some of the front part of his legs with like cloth. So it's gonna be covered up anyway, but kind of wanted to be boxy and just a place to sit like the rest of his like material and stuff on. And so we're just gonna start with this rhomboid piece, I guess, I don't know how to say it, and then we're gonna make another rectangle on top. And if you don't make a perfect rectangle, that's fine. You just hold it and it'll become a quadrilateral or a rectangle, whatever you need, and then you can adjust it to make it like straight, however you need it to be. I'm just doing something like that. It's just a base that everything is gonna sit on. that's good enough. And then you can either just hit the editing part or hit the pencil and it'll go away. It's not perfect, but it's fine. And so now what I'm thinking is I want like flaps, maybe. Like, I don't know if they come off the, like just off the side here and they just cover the side, maybe like that. We're gonna readjust it and everything when I just need like some, this is how I do it. Like I make like a bad representation of it and then I adjust and then, but I just need to see something, because before we had no real visual of what we wanted, and that gets hard to work with. So this would be what it would look like from the front, and then we'd have like connector pieces to the leg itself, like just something like here. It would be like a mesh that connects to the leg, something like that. And then on the back side, just more flaps to cover. So that's what I'm thinking for the base of it. Fun additive details. Let's see here, because this is just going to be like, if you think about it in 3D, it'll just be like this, with a thing on top, flap on the side, and now I'm thinking like flap back in the back, just to cover whatever robotic pieces I don't actually want shown. And then again, we're gonna have stuff here. I'm gonna do this on a separate layer. So this is what my idea is for the front. It doesn't look perfect. There could be a lot more detail here in the actual front piece. So let's just, ooh, eraser's too big. Drop down the size of our eraser some. And then we know he's like a berserker or whatever, so maybe we just put like this right here, and then we can have like a glowing piece here. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Now we're gonna erase that there. Now it's either this part is connected to this piece, and then we just, now I'm thinking it's like an extra square here. And what I like to do is, like, if I think the lines are going to be overlapping, or if this would be in front of that or in between that, I just erase the line. Now we're getting somewhere. And I think since this is going to have space here, I'm going to have, like, there's depth here. So there's like depth, so that goes a little bit further back. And I think this is where we're going to have, this is where we're going to have that cloth piece from the front hang down, just like that. It's just connected to the front there like that. And then maybe the cloth pieces from the side just hang off from underneath the base of the side stuff here, because we have cloth pieces. So that's the front angle. It just has one glowing piece here. Maybe we could also, because now I'm thinking with the cloth piece is sort of like behind this square, so this square is going to be like front facing, and then the cloth piece is like through it on the sides here. And then we got a glowing piece here. I mean, maybe we could have it like that and cut it into pieces like that. So I'm thinking I would need a cylinder, stretch it out, cut it in half, and it'll give me this shape here. So that's what we're gonna do to make that shape later on. Put that in front, another cylinder, this part's gonna glow. Then we're gonna split this into 3 pieces, just a rectangular split here, bang, and then rectangular split here, and it'll make it into 3 separate pieces. And then before we do all that, we copy it, shrink it down a little bit, and have it enter glow. So just the line parts, the splits will be glowing, and then the circle in the middle will be glowing. Seems good there. Trying to see what else we can add to this, because again, it still looks like just basic and flat. Also, the legs themselves are going to be like inside of these side ports or whatever, and I feel like we're going to lose some detail on the leg itself by having this cover it. But I think that's okay. We just needed a more solid base. So now we have that idea from that angle. This is what we're working with here pretty much. And there'd be flaps that go in the back. Flaps would go in the back like that. So it's just the one little belt piece. So let's make another layer. And it's gonna be tiny. Again, but this was it has to be like long enough for the body to sit on. So this top piece here is like that, and then in front here we have that sort of rounded rhomboid, or like rounded, like a elongated cylinder with just a little bit of extra for the light piece. And then we got a line there, and we won't see the top line, but you know, this part will be separated there. Let's duplicate this waist, turn one off, and then we're gonna manipulate this one just so I can shrink it and put it out the way, but I still need to see it. So I'm gonna shrink it, move it over here just so I can see it. Then we're gonna go back to this layer. Because again, that's the front, so the side look like this. And then we'd have the back plate, just the back flaps there, like that. And in between we have, I don't know, like this here. And it'd be narrow, because the legs would sit somewhere like here. The leg would sit here. The leg would sit there. That's the middle piece right here. And so underneath this piece right here, we'd have this bigger, more narrow square that goes underneath that and to the back like that. So it's that more skinny, narrow piece there. And that would be, so let's see. It would end up being behind this back flap. Maybe, something like that. And then off to the sides here would be these other flaps. And now I'm thinking of detail for these side flaps. Like, I just need stuff to cover things. But again, I don't want to lose the focus of all the detail and stuff that I put into the legs. But we need to put something on here. It can't just be basic squares. Okay, so now it's starting to look like a lot of noise. So we're gonna start erasing it. I just need that as a like temporary thing for the leg, but that's gone. We don't need that. The leg is gonna be underneath there. You're not gonna be able to see all this, so this stuff is gone too. But it's good to just do it so that we can see it in our mind. And so this is the side flap. This is the side flap here. I don't know, maybe put some like rivets, something here. That's how it's connected. And then, so it's gonna be one piece, and then we just cut out the center piece here, shrink it down some, and make another thing there, like that, just so it looks like that. And honestly, we can like clone it. We can clone it and then have it like come down a little bit further down underneath the leg like that, and it would be the same thing. But again, right here in the front, we're gonna have cloth. So the cloth piece would be like there. We can zoom out. I know it looks like a lot of noise, but this is how I see things in my head and how I need to like visualize it. So we got the cloth piece there in the front, and it would come down like that. And the legs are going to be long and stuff, so it's going to be a lot. I know it feels like a lot is going on right now, but it'll be fine. So we got the cloth piece, and I think in between the second one is where the other cloth piece will come in. So it'd be like cloth there. And on the back side too, why not? Just on the bottom of that back flap on both sides, because there's two. So it's not just the one, there'd be a second one like over here. So it'd be cloth there, cloth on the side, two cloth pieces in the back. And I think we have our waist. That's pretty much what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like that. So this would be the side profile view of the waist. Maybe we have two of the side flaps just like connected like this. We'll see when we get to that point. But this is how I visually represent what I need to see in as far as the waist goes. So that's the side. We can put that over here. Boom. And then this other one. So that's the front of it, like that. And then we need like a back view, which is pretty much the same. We're gonna make a new layer, boom, which would be the back. So like so what's on this layer, we have like a second thing there, like that. So it's coming down further, and then the cloth is like, there's the cloth. So that's the side view, that's the front. We got front, and we got profile, and then now we're gonna do a back view. Cool. All right, so the back view, again, we'd have just this easy top portion, which is where everything is gonna sit. Perfect. You'd be able to see, if there was no body there, you'd be able to see like the arch in the front. Then it'd have its split at the top, and then split at the sides. Well, actually, it would converge in the center where this circle is anyway. You wouldn't be able to see this part, but this is how it would look, right? All right, and so then the back part, we'd have the back flaps coming down, and I think it's two separate flaps. Okay, I don't like the space, so it's just gonna be one. How do I do this? Because in my mind, we have the portion where like there's like all the robotic parts for the leg to be, and then we have this thinner portion there, and then we erase this line because you wouldn't be able to see it because this would be protruding further than that, right? And so I could do like that. Yeah, okay, so that's when there's two. But let's edit it and make it closer towards the center. Like that. Then we make another one. Bop, 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 bop. So again, you wouldn't see the inner workings anymore because these flaps would cover it. But just so we have a sort of general visual representation. And again, we could put like rivets or something here, and that's how it's like attached to it, and they can be glowing. Make those glowing. It's always good to have some glowing parts. And then again, we got the side pieces that would come off to the side here at this angle, like that. Oh, don't make it an ellipses. No. Undo. Okay. So it's not gonna be like a rectangular shape. I have to like do it individually. Boom. And then go here, here. Okay, fine. Give me a line. Like that. Sort of like this, off to here, and then again like a rivet or something like drilled in so that it's hauled on to the side. Same thing on the other side, up here. Up there, like that. And it's gonna make a weird thing, right? line. Okay, cool. There, just make the lines, boom, like that. And then that adheres it to the side. That's pretty much it. Again, inside here would have like the mesh where the leg would connect here. So the leg would come out like here. Whatever we have for the leg, like that. So then off to this one too. More of that. The leg starts there, comes out here. We just have enough space for the leg. So you wouldn't see all this stuff, but this is pretty much, again, this is how I work it out in my mind to make it in 3D, because I need a front, a back, and a profile. I mean, yeah, front, back, and profile, and then I could see it in 3D. I know it looks lackluster and there's not too much to it, but again, just having this is more than enough for me to create something better than what we had last night, because again, I was falling asleep and it wasn't anything in particular. So now we got our profile, we got our front, and we got our back. The back I didn't have to I mean, I guess I could. Like, we know that there's a secondary. Okay, so let's just shrink her down like that, and then do some more work on the back of it, because we know that we have two plates here, like that, like that. So I don't know if we need a secondary plate in the back to come down, just to make it like even like this. Again, then I'm like covering up the legs too much, and I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of just want to do like cloth like that, and these ones could be longer on the side. I don't care, but it would be two separate things for the cloth, and it would be coming from the bottom here, and then again we'd have the legs or whatever. And the legs are kind of big, so if anything, we'll make like the legs like longer, and they come down further, and then we do whatever else for the leg. But that's the back. I know, again, it looks like a lot of noise, and things are, you wouldn't see half of this stuff. You're not gonna see you wouldn't see any of this, you wouldn't see the leg portion. All that you wouldn't see. But again, this visual representation is how I make things better. And we'd have the waist here, the square waist, and you wouldn't see any of that. So you wouldn't see this part in the front either. But we have that square top base, top plate. It's just gonna be like this, honestly. Boop, boop, boop. And then I guess that's the top down view, because honestly it's just a plate. It's just a plate, and then cloth, and then cloth. Unnecessary, but that's pretty much how it's looking. But with everything together, it looks so much cooler. And so now that we have this, I mean, I don't really need to color it. But we're gonna just add another layer, and then just, I really like using one of these brushes here in my recent, this one. Leatherwood is such a beautiful brush. I love this brush so much. It just makes like chaos. Just chaos. Beautiful, beautiful fucking chaos. Now you can't even see the lines. So it doesn't really do much, especially because our background layer is kind of like light, but we don't really need it. I don't know, man. We don't need that. But I just like this. I like Leatherwood. It's just the way that it paints is so nice. And we can take all these layers and make them white, I guess, by doing the alpha lock. And then on that layer, you go to the brush, like a medium brush, and make it white. And then whatever layer it is, it'll show up a lot better. You make the brush huge. Ta-da! Now you can see all the crap that I did. And then do the same thing with the other layers. Alpha lock, giant brush, and we can see the color. And waist, alpha lock, bang. So now we can see what we were working with, and I get to have my bloody red background just to keep me to remember that this guy's like a berserker and he's tough and he's a badass and he's angry. But this is the blueprint for the waist now. Okay, so now I don't need to do anything else to it color wise. I know like the glowing parts, I know like the gray parts, but this is my blueprint. So we're gonna go into the wrench tool, we're gonna go to share, we're gonna go to PNG, and it's gonna export it. We're gonna save the image, and now that we have it saved, we can go back to Nomad Sculpt. Bang, back into Nomad. So we have our leg background, we have our leg reference image. And when we get to the legs, we'll make that, but before we do the legs, we're gonna do the waist. So at the top where it says background, we're going to change the reference image. We're going to import one from our photos, and it's going to be that first one. We're going to add it, bang. And so now we have our blueprint for the waist. So what I like to do when I start a new section is I turn off the old section, unhighlight everything, and now we're going to just pick a part to start with. And so now we're going to go into our scene, we're going to go to add, we're going to go to a box. It's really, really tiny. That's fine. We're going to validate that box and make sure we're front facing. So now we have it validated. We do my favorite part. We're going to go into miscellaneous, I believe that's how you say it, M-I-S-C, miscellaneous. And then we're going to go to decimate, and we go decimate, decimate, decimate. We don't need too many polygons. Again, we want to have this. The scene has a lot to it, and we only have limited memory. So to correct that, we take these shapes that have a lot of polygons and just decimate them until they have less polygons, so we can have a lot more room to work. All right. So first thing is we're going to make that top plate where the entire body is going to sit, and that's going to be our guide for spatial, like everything. And then again, once we go to resize everything to make sure that it makes sense, it'll be okay as long as this is our base. So we're going to do this top plate here. We're going to start from the front, and then we're going to use the red axis to make it longer. Let it go, and it doubles the size. Let it go again, and it doubles the size. Cool. Now we're going to turn to the side, and we're going to use the blue axis. We can leave it in the center, I guess. We're going to use the blue axis. Increase it, double that again. Now we got this big old box. Yeah. For a second there, it looked like it was like not even. That's just my mind playing tricks on me. Okay, so now we got the top plate. Everything is going to sit on this little box here. Why does it look like, I don't know, it sort of looks like it's not even, but it is. Okay. So the top plate is done, and this is going to be our base for everything. So we're going to name this waist. Waist. Boom. All right, so now we got one piece of the waist done. And everything else that we build is going to go into the waist, because that's our category right now. That's what we're working on. All right, so next we need the main part underneath. So there's a couple of things that we can do. I think this thing could be made with either a square and then we just chop off some of the sides, or we can do a tube. We can make a tube with a path and turn it sideways. Just turn it sideways, make a path. Ooh, we only need the one. Hit the green button to make it real. And then we are going to add a profile to it. And then we're going to adjust the profile. All right, so we're going to rotate this back to the front so we can look at it when we adjust the profile. So the profile here makes it go from like a circle to a square. And if you hit the profile, like five-sided object, I don't know, rhomboid, you can adjust it. And another thing that you have to remember is that the bottom adjusts the top or the side. It's so annoying. It's not just like the top adjusts the top and the bottom adjusts the bottom. No, you have to figure out which side adjusts each side. So what side do we need? We need that side and we need this side. See, look at that. So the left side adjusts the top. Don't know why that is, but it is. But we need the top more narrow. Is that how we designed it? Yes, the top is more narrow, so it's like that. And then we can scale it up, and we got that shape. It's like that all the way through. It's not straight because the line is not straight, which is why I think we can do it with a box and just cut it. But, you know, I don't really care about things being perfectly straight or even. It, like, gives my, like, designs, like, life, I guess. That looks pretty good. Good. Good enough? Good enough. We're going to validate it and then decimate it. And decimate. Well, it's actually kind of small already. That's fine. Alright, so now if I want to make adjustments to it, I can like make sure we're front center. Turn this over a little bit, move it up some so that's inside there. And then this is the tube. We're going to rename it like waist support. Waist support, cool. All right, so now that we got that shape there, we need another box. We're gonna take the waist support, put it inside the waist, and now it's all one thing. We're gonna add another box here. We're gonna validate it. We're gonna move it over, move it down, turn to the side. Make it like longer than that. Good. Bring the green one to make it tall. And then now we're perfectly in the front. We're gonna put it here. It's too long. We just needed to sit like that because that's how we designed it. I think it's to the front more. And it sticks out like that. Perfect. And this is just a little bit bigger. Make sure it goes inside there. And then just support accessory. W, support accessory. W, support ACC. Again, it's just an extra piece there to give it some functionality. All right, so now that we have all that, in front of that goes that cylinder top piece that sticks up along the top here, like a belt or something. We're gonna go to our scene, we're gonna go to add, we're gonna go to cylinder. We're gonna validate it and align. We're gonna go to snap 90, I think, because we need to rotate it forward. Snap 90 will just give it perfectly a 90-degree functionality there. And then we elongate it like that. And we make it wider with the red one. Make it a little bit longer, a little bit wider. I'm gonna zoom in and see where I would sit it. It would sit right about there, I guess. Move it over. Let's make it a little bit longer so that we have more room to work with. Okay, so now, instead of it being this whole circle here, I don't need that, so we're gonna use our trusty trim tool over here on the right-hand side. We're gonna go to trim, we're gonna go to rectangle, and go to about here. Bye-bye. And now we got the shape that we want for it. I can make it thinner or thicker or longer. See, now we can adjust just that part. I love that. And more like that, but it's the shape. So we can drag it into place here. Sticks out further than that, which is what I want. Have it pressed in. Pressed inside, so everything is like one piece. There. Actually needs to stick out a little bit further because apparently that's where we're putting the cloth piece too. So it's gonna stick out like this. And I'm okay with it sticking in there like that. So now it's not just, now it's sticking out a lot. And now that's where we're gonna have this shelf right here is where we're gonna put the cloth. Again, so this little detail right here is gonna be covered up, but it's still there. It's okay. So then we're gonna call this like belt. I don't know, belt for some reason. It's gonna be the belt part, belt. All right, so I need to clone this belt, clone it, so to clone it, and then we move it up a little bit. 2 fingers to undo the move, but it'll still be there. Then we're gonna go into material, we're gonna make it additive, and then we're gonna use the outer rim to shrink it down some so that it's inside. So now we got that going, we are going to split this into certain pieces. So we need a circle. First, we're gonna trim out the center, and yeah, we're gonna trim out the center. We need a circle in the center. Or you know what? There's a couple. See, again, I can either make it protruding out or I can make it on the inside. We did the chest protruding out, so let's make this one on the inside. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna make a big circle here, and bye-bye. Uh-oh, we might have to turn off symmetry. That's the problem. Okay, we're gonna try that one more time. Move it to world center. Make a circle. Let's see. Yeah, we gotta turn off symmetry. Okay, symmetry at the top, turn that off. Bang. So now it went all the way through. It's like a circle that goes all the way through. You're not gonna be able to see, you're not gonna be able to see the inside here, how the circle went all the way through. Usually that would be an issue. But since we're gonna have the body and everything sitting on top of this, that's not gonna be an issue at all. All right, so now we have our circle, and then we had split into 3 different parts. So the base of this, we're gonna use our split tool, hit the home button, which is the world center, go to rectangle, and split it here. That gives us our first split. What moves? The top moves. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna move the top up like that. And that's the thing that we want to split again. So we're gonna go back to our split tool, have our rectangle selected, and just go about halfway. And now we can move it out and out like that. And now it's uneven. I always make it uneven. But again, I like it. Honestly, I like it. I like it better than it being like perfectly straight. So we're gonna bring that in. I'm gonna bring this down some too. Now, there's another thing that we can do here. We can make this bigger again. Like that. So now it fills up the cracks a little bit. We still have our circle glow and that split. So that part's done. Now we got the glow and the split. Now we can name some stuff. Belt split, belt split, belt split. And then this one right here is belt 1. So this is belt glow. Glow. Now I don't need it to be split all the way apart again. So we're gonna highlight belt, belt split 1, belt split, and then join them back together. So now they all move as one piece again, which is cool, which is what we wanted. We just wanted the splits. Okay, so we got the splits done. We are moving with this waist piece. This section might need to be a little bit longer. So we're gonna highlight waist support and then waist support accessory. We're gonna highlight both of them. And then we're gonna use the green to make it longer. Not popping out the top, which is good. Just move it down like that. I just thought it would need to be a little bit longer. But maybe not. Let's just undo it. Let's leave it exactly how it was. And this is one piece, right? Still one piece, good. All right, let's leave it there. For now, we don't need to make the adjustment on that because I don't really know how thick the leg is. But again, if we need to make it thicker or wider or thinner or smaller, we can at a later point. But let's finish the build. All right, so now the front part I wanted cloth, or should we build the inner? Let's build the inner portion right here real quick. Let's go to add. Let's go cylinder, validate, bring it down. Okay, so snap 90, perfect. Make it longer, increase its size completely, bring it up, make sure we're world center, move it over some, because this is where the legs would go. Like this is where the port of the legs would go. So we can do this with the cylinder, and then the legs would sit on the cylinder, sort of like that, maybe. And the legs would roll and rotate on that. But we're gonna leave that there for now, and then I think I'm gonna add, I don't know if I'm gonna add mesh or a couple of balls, and we're gonna call this hip rotator. And then now we're going to add some spheres. Validate the sphere. Increase the size of the sphere. Increase it more. Just like that. And like this is where the leg would sit in my mind. So maybe make this a little bit smaller. And then this is the connecting piece for the leg. So there's room so that it's not hitting this top portion, so that it can move freely and function how it needs to be. And then we're gonna name it, oh, we didn't decimate it, huh? We didn't decimate the cylinder either. Hold on. Run it back here, decimate. And the spear for sure decimate 1, 2, 3. All right, and now we can name the sphere hip joint. And then we can clone it and then just move it over. And we got both our hip joints. So we're gonna make like this like a lighter metallic color, and then we make these like black maybe, and then the legs will sit on top of that. But that's where the legs will sit, so they'd move around an axis on there and an axis on the circle as well. So that's how I see it in my mind. That's how it makes sense to me. It's about center, and then the legs go straight down. Perfect. All right, next we got either we can do the front cloth piece or the side hanging pieces. We gotta find some more music. We played on that one. Listening to Trappin' in Japan by Ryan Celsius. He makes like these fun playlists. I like them a lot. Oh, YouTube ads, please go away. Alright, skip. Alright, now we got Ryan Celsius going. And we're just gonna check on the stream. Checking on the stream. Just checking on the stream, guys. Alright. Reminds me of those concept arts you get in video games. Oh. Yeah, my boy. Hey, alright, Kimchi Poppy is in here. Hold on, guys. I might have somebody at the door of the studio, so Give me a few minutes. I might be offline for a little bit, but then I might come back on. Kimchi Poppy, I'm just checking out your messages now. Sorry, bro. And like a bitch, wanna. My man, thanks for stopping in. Hold on, let me check and see what's going on. There might be someone at the studio. So we're gonna take a quick pause. I will come back a little bit later, guys, and then we'll go from there. All right? BRB. We're gonna stop the stream real quick. Hold on, guys. Pause. BRB, guys. We're gonna restart the stream in just a little while, okay? BRB.